Minecraft has been around for over 10 years, okay? There are kids born who never knew what life was like before Minecraft, and some of them may even watch these videos, which in that case you shouldn't because we are for people 13 and up. There you go, Copa, that's what I needed to say that, right? Okay, we're good. They don't know the golden age of Minecraft YouTube, okay? With Skydoesminecraft, Captrain Sparklez, the Yogscast, ThxCya, and more. All they know is trolling, wardens, glow squids, and twerking. Either way, with all the history comes plenty of updates, and within those updates are things that didn't quite work and things that were meant as a joke. The ones that Mojang, that's how you say it, doesn't want you to remember are what we're exploring today. Let's do it. In at 10, the Pigman. A Pigman is a pig in a humanoid form that originally were going to inhabit villages. Although not implemented, their skin can be found within the game files, and their zombie counterpart, the zombified pigmen, now known as zombified piglins, have been a part of the Nether since Minecraft Alpha 1.2.0, the Halloween update. It has the same dimensions as the player and has no coding present within the game that allows it to spawn. Minecraft user Mickley made up the idea for the pigmen and was rewarded with the bacon cape as a thank you for the idea. However, when more people started requesting custom capes, Notch took Mickley's cape away so that people would stop asking. And way to go, like, you people in general, for just ruining the whole damn thing. You couldn't let this kid have one goddamn thing. No, you couldn't. Notch mentioned on April 25th, 2011 that he might add pigmen as villages townspeople in beta's 1.9 pre-releases, but then a different villager mob was introduced. Regular pig models were also changed in beta 1.8 to have a protruding snout, but this doesn't really matter now since the pigmen are known as piglins and are an entirely new thing. Although these weren't really present in the Pocket Edition of the game when released, but you know what? Let's move on. In at 9, Diamond Chicken. Diamond chickens are something that like a hacker would spawn into a server for a YouTube video or something, because diamond chickens were a rare variant of chickens present in the April Fool's Java Edition 2.0 that lays lapis lazuli or diamonds instead of eggs. Diamond chickens spawn under normal chicken spawning conditions, but not as commonly. As chickens were modified in 2.0 to display neutral behavior, diamond chickens were also neutral, but the thing is that they would also explode when aggravated, making them potentially passive versions of creepers. They just look like blue tinted versions of a chicken though. Nothing real special about them other than that, and you know, the fact that they lay diamonds. Like you couldn't like make them look like a diamond block or something. You just had to slightly tint them blue. That's kind of lame in my opinion, but honestly, since they explode, I'm gonna say that this counts as a monster, okay? The term monster is gonna be used kind of broadly here. The mob was removed after the April Fool's update of Minecraft 2.0, and honestly, I'm kind of disappointed that they did that. It would have been kind of cool, but it would also be game breaking. In at 8, Smiling Creeper. The Smiling Creeper looks like a regular creeper, however, its iconic mouth is just flipped 180 degrees. So it's upside down to look like he's smiling. They literally turned that frown upside down. The smiling creeper will also explode when it gets close to the player, but it will explode into poppies this time. The poppies could also not be picked up. It was unknown if the smiling creeper did damage since it was part of the April Fool's 2.0 update. However, getting hit with poppies in the face when they're flying at you with explosive speed, in my mind, would definitely hurt. So I feel like it would cause the same amount of damage as a normal creeper, maybe slightly less. But it would also, like, it would have to actually deal damage, right? I feel like this creeper was the inspiration behind the Mo Creatures mod from back in the day, or maybe the Mo Creepers mod is what I meant to say, but you know what, we're gonna leave both of them in because maybe either one is the case. That mod though introduced things like the Dirt Creeper that would explode and just create a ball of dirt around where it exploded, and others, but this creeper was removed after the 2.0 update as well. In at 7, the Killer Bunny. The Killer Bunny, previously known as the Killer Rabbit, which was a reference to Monty Python and the Holy Grail, is an aggressive variant of the rabbit exclusive to Java Edition that is hostile towards players, foxes, and wolves. Its fur is pure white with blood red eyes that are actually horizontal compared to a normal rabbit's vertical eyes, kind of like it's squinting, and it can be spawned only using the /summon rabbit type 99 command. It appears with a nameplate over its head reading the Killer Bunny. If the Killer Bunny finds any player within a 16 block radius, it will hop towards that player much faster than a normal rabbit, and it moves in a style similar to that of a spider. Once it closes in, it jumps at the player, dealing 4 hearts of damage on normal difficulty. If the player strikes at the Killer Bunny, it runs away for a brief moment, then returns to lunging at the player. Killer Bunnies are also immune to the thorn Thorns enchantment. This used to be able to spawn naturally, however can now only be summoned with the command that I've stated prior, but if the player renames a killer bunny to Toast, which is another rabbit trick, it will still attack the player and wolves. So it's a type of rabbit, it's not just a skin. And at 6, humans. Humans, known as monsters in the code, were the first mobs ever added to Minecraft. These hostile mobs looked identical to the player with the default Steve skin. Human mobs would generate in random places when a world was generated at pre-classic. Later on, they would have to be manually spawned in by pressing G while playing in classic mode, but after both of these features were removed, they were only spawnable using mobs and map editors, but otherwise were not available in vanilla Minecraft. Humans do not drop anything when they die, and they move in an absurdly just hilarious fashion. They go around like this. It's like someone who's like drunk and then knows that they're drunk and they start running away from the group to cause trouble, kind of like Chris when everyone goes out drinking. So that's like the best way that I can describe this running, or I guess maybe the walking animation of the human mob. It's hilarious and something that I really wish was still in the game, although now after drinking with Chris, I feel like I'm always the parent now, so I kind of like, I'm reacting to it in a different way. I feel like this is how every player should move, though, honestly, because that's just, it's great, okay? I'm sure that there's a mod that makes you see this animation on the client side, or like if you're using it on a server, like how Optifine is client side, I don't know, that'd be funny. The human mob was removed prior to the alpha release of the game, and it's actually the culprit of the removed herobrine message. This is the herobrine that they removed. This is the mob that they removed parts of the code for that they're actually referencing, so it wasn't actually herobrine because herobrine wasn't in the game. And Jay's not here to yell at me for saying that, unless he slacks Chris again. Halfway through into number 5, Pink Wither. The Pink Wither, or Friendly Wither, was a recurring April Fool's mob present in both Java Edition 2.0 and Snapshot 15W14A. In 2.0, the Pink Wither could be summoned by placing a potted rose on top of pink wool, and then the newly spawned mob would have one head. The Pink Wither would follow players that are holding sugar, and then feeding it sugar would cause it to grow more heads, up to a maximum of 3, because you know, wither. As a Pink Wither moves, it applies an effect similar to bone meal on surrounding blocks that would also heal surrounding mobs. The area affected increases with the number of heads it has. It's just weird, okay? The mob is a friendly undead mob, which is just weird. In 15W14A, the Pink Wither actually replaced the normal Wither, firing skulls with a bone meal effect. Unlike the Wither though, Pink Wither does not drop a nether star upon death in 15W14A, and it was removed after the versions that it was present in, including the snapshot, because that's just game breaking. In at 4, the Redstone Bug. Redstone Bug was a hostile mob present in Java Edition 2.0, which are kind of like just the Endermites, but for redstone. Redstone bugs spawned close to redstone, which was rapidly changing between strengths, or actually from mining redstone ore, but it could also be found spawning in strongholds. Redstone bugs are pretty much just like a reskinned silverfish, although they're technically, I guess, more endermite at this point. So yeah, they share all of the behavior of which I have to admit is really annoying because I hate silverfish, and this is mostly because of the nightmare difficulty from Fundy. Okay, I was playing it with some friends, and we found a stronghold very quickly, so we set up a base camp nearby. However, we dug one silverfish block, and then thanks to nightmare difficulty, every time you damage them, the silverfish would multiply. Yeah, it was horrible. And since they were like in our base, they were spawn camping us in essence, I ended up having to use a command to kill all of them at once, and when I did, it killed around 1,300 silverfish. Yeah, so now I absolutely despise them, okay? The redstone bugs, however, also would spawn in many different colors based on the redstone strength signal. It's actually kind of cool though, but luckily they didn't keep them, otherwise Mumble's whole peace-loving plants thing wouldn't really have worked, because, you know, you'd have to kill the redstone bugs. Yeah. Getting close to the end, in at number 3, the original Strider. Now, while the Strider may be in the game thanks to the 1.16 Nether update, the original design for the Strider was the stuff of nightmares. The Nether is home to some of the most fearsome monsters that you can find in Minecraft. Piglins, blazes, ghasts, and my cousin Bob, who refuses to share any of the ancient debris he finds in our joint adventures. But as his name suggests, Bob is evil incarnate, so he's in good company. The Nether, though, is crawling with hostile mobs who won't hesitate to make player pudding, if you know what I mean. You know, they'll kill you. However, there is an exception though. An adorable anomaly that couldn't care less about you, me, or Bob. We'll call this happy little accident the Strider. And while the current design may be the most adorable thing in Minecraft aside from pigs and frogs and axolotls, The early Strider concept is absolutely terrifying to look at. The original design by Jasper Borstra is the stuff of nightmares, and I'm glad that they changed it prior to 1.16's release. And while the Grandpa and Grandma Strider designs, as Mojang calls them, are closer to what they are today, I'm still glad they didn't use them and went with this one, because God. But ultimately, in at number 2, Giant. Giants are unused, oversized mobs that look like zombies. They previously only spawned naturally in dev mode, but no biome actually includes giants on their spawn lists, so they can never spawn naturally. The earliest available inf-dev build that you can access on the launcher also does not include giants in the global spawn lists, unless you're using mods. Additionally, giants require a light level of simultaneously greater than 11 and less than 8 in order to spawn. This effectively makes it impossible for them to ever appear even through mob spawners, since you can't have something higher than 11 but less than 8. Giants are also close to 12 blocks tall, and it uses a 6 times enlarged zombie model, because giants are not actually undead mobs as well. They also don't burn in the sunlight, and they are damaged by potions of harming. Iron golems attack giants as they attack other hostile mobs, but giants also don't end up converting into drowned, which I think would be hella funny if they did, because can you imagine a giant drowned? Oh, that would actually be pretty cool. Giants have no AI currently, so they can't really do anything. And the consequences of this is that they always face south when you summon them via commands, and then they stay that way. They don't wander, they don't turn their head, they don't chase the player, they do nothing. You can spawn one in using the /summon Minecraft giant command, but I mean, why would you want to do that? There's no point at this point. There's no reason. And finally, in at number 1, the Nerd Creeper. The Nerd Creeper is probably the most confusing thing on this list, so I'll give you a little backstory. 3D Shareware version 1.34 is an April Fool's joke released in 2019. Officially called Minecraft 3D, this version has many references to old gaming in the 90s. This reference is a fork for the game version of 19W13B, so it was 19W13B and then 3D Shareware. But according to the developers, Minecraft 3D Shareware version 1.34 is an old version of Minecraft released on April 1st, 1994, which only a handful of copies were ever made. Yeah, I think you can see where this is going. One of these copies, though, was discovered amongst the rubble lying in the basement of Mojang's old offices, which I don't know why they would have access to and why it would be filled with rubble if it's your basement, but again, who knows. It was said to be a masterpiece of its time, featuring cutting-edge technology that won many awards, although this is all a part of the joke, because they tried to make their own creepypasta in essence. In this version of Minecraft, the creeper was given an NBT tag called BD20 that would either be a 1 or a 0, because binary, and then this would determine, quote, whether the creeper is a nerd. That's it. Nothing else. There's no explanation as to what that means, or if it looks different, or if it just starts rolling dice when it gets close to you. It doesn't tell you, okay? And you know what? That's fine with me. How do you think it would look, though? Be sure to let me know in the comments. That's all the time we have for today. Thank you all so much for watching. I have been in Gunnar Monroe, and I'll see you in another video. I'm not wearing the king garb.